Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So it does seem like after 2 long years, Addison Rae is finally gearing up to put out her debut EP. And what is pretty unique about this EP is that it is more or less composed of all of her previously leaked singles that people have been pushing for her to put out ever since she debuted about 2 years ago with her single Obsessed. And if you're older Gen Z like myself, or even a millennial or older, you likely, if you are even familiar with Addison Rae, you probably weren't paying that much attention to her when she was dancing on TikTok and things of that sort, but it does seem like she's developed this sort of cult following as this underground pop star, and people are clamoring for her to put out her music. So today I do want to talk a little bit about Addison's Lost album, her EP that's coming out tomorrow, and some of my predictions or thoughts about her future in pop. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you know of Addison Rae, you're likely aware that she became famous from TikTok, where she currently has 88 million followers. She mostly did dance videos, and after going viral, she went on to act, attend red carpets, and even was briefly friends with the Kardashians. Back in 2021 is around when it seemed like Addison was planning to fully launch her music career. That year, she put out her debut single, Obsessed. The dance pop song was co-written and produced by Benny Blanco, and basically centers around self-love and self-obsession. Addison said the song was inspired by a time her boyfriend said he was obsessed with her, and she responded saying "me too" by accident. And then after thinking more about it, she realized being obsessed with oneself wasn't inherently a bad thing, and she could make a song out of it. Obsessed didn't fare too well with critics, with the most generous reviews of the song calling it camp. Heavy comparisons were drawn between Addison's vocals and Selena Gomez's for that style that a lot of people refer to as whisper singing. Looking through Twitter and forums like Popheads, fan reception was more favorable for Obsessed, but the criticism was definitely still present and even more vitriolic because it's the internet. Charlie XCX actually defended Addison, tweeting, "She's great. She comes with great lyric concepts. They all sound like Vroom Vroom lyrics. It's super cute. I think she's a great pop star."
And I know that you were in the studio with Addison Rae for a while. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I am Addison's #1 fan. She is such a wonderful person. She has so many good songs. I don't really know what's happening with them. I'm not even a part of most of them. I'm just genuinely such a fan. She's a legend.
I think it's fair to say Obsessed was a decent enough debut, but with the help of hindsight, it was nothing super groundbreaking, just a fun little pop song. For someone who had millions of followers already, it wasn't going to ruin Addison's career, but Obsessed by no means is a song that was going to take an artist out of obscurity and make them into a pop star.
But I think Obsessed kind of marked something for me and my, my team of writers and people I was working with, and was kind of like, okay, this is what the direction is. This is the vibe. This is the feel that my music's going to bring. And I think that's kind of what set off the rest of the music we've been doing since Obsessed. There's songs that we did before, obviously, but I think I was still figuring out who I was as an artist and what that meant to me.
Addison performed Obsessed live once on Jimmy Fallon, and that performance was panned by Twitter. I watched it. I liked the costuming, the staging, everything. If I had to criticize anything at all, it would be more so the fact that she's leaning into being a dancer in this performance more than being a singer, and she's there to promote her song. I think this is a common thing with dancers who try to sing or end up singing, because I remember J-Lo saying that when she was training for the Selena movie, it was really hard for her to get out of her dancer mindset and concentrate on the entire aspect of performing, as well as monitoring the microphone and making it look like she was singing and dancing.
I'm not a singer. I haven't performed as a singer, so I'm a dancer. I'd be singing and the mic be over here, I'd be like, oh, the mic, because it's not really my voice.
Okay, I just wanted to step in and clarify just a little bit further what I mean, because I don't want to come off like a hater, but what I'm saying is, rather than this coming off as an entire musical performance, a performance of the single, it is a perfectly executed dance routine with Addison's left arm frozen in front of her mouth. That way she doesn't, accidentally move the microphone. That way it looks like she's lip syncing. And while the vocals are not live, that doesn't necessarily matter to me, because you can still pull off the performance of a song with not live vocals and still be into it and make it look like you're singing, or not just focused on the dancing part of the routine, if that makes sense. But what I'm saying is, it's just something that I noticed because I know she is primarily a dancer first. And then, of course, the only reason I'm saying any of this at all was to emphasize the point that I didn't think that this was a terrible performance the way Twitter was acting like it was bad. To me, it genuinely wasn't a bad performance at all, and that's all I could notice or come up with when I was looking for something. Also, it did make me realize that, for what it's worth, Obsessed is a pretty catchy song. Obsessed was supposed to be followed eventually by Addison's debut EP, and shortly after, she started teasing the next single, I Got It Bad, on TikTok. It's very dramatic 2010 synth pop and sounds kind of like in the lane of a Charlie XCX or Kim Petras song, which makes perfect sense because Charlie XCX apparently wrote I Got It Bad. The way the chorus ends, like that little hollow echo at the end of it, just because the sentence is over, it's done, it is so Charlie. Who Sampled actually says I Got It Bad samples Baby One More Time, and I can hear a slight interpolation at some points, but that's if I'm really trying to force myself to hear it. On the Genius page, though, for I Got It Bad, it doesn't have the Baby One More Time sample listed at all. Addison's EP didn't come in 2021, and moving into 2022, singles continued to leak. One of the most popular leaks was Addison's demo for Nothing On But the Radio, a snippet of which leaked in January of 2022. As the title suggests, the song is sexy and flirty and is inspired by the Marilyn Monroe quote, "It's not true I had nothing on, I had the radio on." Part of the reason Nothing On But the Radio got so much attention was because the song was originally written by Gaga in 2010 and was intended for Born This Way and then Art Pop before Gaga scrapped it all together. Her version of Nothing On But the Radio leaked online in 2012. I can see why Gaga didn't keep the song, but out of all the versions, my favorite version was the one intended for Art Pop. Addison's full version of Nothing On But the Radio leaked online in April of 2022. I feel like this was around the time when I started seeing a little talk of, ooh, Addison Rae might be a pop girl, I need her to put this EP out and all of that stuff of the sort. A lot of this sentiment only continued after I Got It Bad leaked in full, which seems like a fan favorite among the singles, a personal favorite of mine, and it was followed by several other leaks, including To Die For. In the summer of 2022, someone jokingly tweeted about Addison's album, which was just a compilation of the leaks being Album of the Year. Addison replied to this tweet calling it the Lost Album with a sad face emoji. Interestingly, based on what I found in Pophead, some people initially thought saying the album was lost was a marketing strategy to drum up interest for an album or EP of Addison's. But her initial tweet was never followed by a release date for a new project, and I actually don't think prior to the leaks a release date had ever even been announced, but I'm not entirely sure. The theory was also put forward that Addison wouldn't get the budget to put out more music after the underperformance of Obsessed, which because of her millions of followers was predicted to perform better than it did. Others theorized it hadn't been Addison's intention to not officially release any of her music, but she had no control over it because she didn't own any of it, and then, like I said, she couldn't get a budget to release it. As far as Obsessed goes, which will be her only official release prior to the EP, Addison wasn't signed to a label at that point. Obsessed was released through the indie label Sandlot, which is distributed through AWAL, which is a recording company meant to subvert the traditional record label model. However, in 2021, which was when Obsessed dropped, AWAL was purchased by Sony Music Entertainment. I'm not completely sure if this affected Addison's EP release, but it is a coincidence that I noticed. Earlier this year, it was reported that Addison signed a publishing deal with Atlantic Records, who are also listed on Obsessed now. In addition, it's been said that that deal will cover her new EP, which is set to drop tomorrow on August 18th. The announcement came Monday via Addison's Twitter, where she stated, "Dug up a few of the leaks from the lost album, AR-818. There's also speculation that Addison may have signed a record deal with Warner or one of their labels, as the leaks have been removed by Warner due to copyright. But Warner Music Group does also own Atlantic Records, who Addison already has the publishing deal with. There's also heavy speculation that Charlie XCX might feature on the official version of To Die For. Aside from their friendship and having worked together in the past, Charlie posted an Instagram story cheekily using the song's title. Also, when something gets flagged for copyright, its official name as listed by the copyright holder comes up. And when To Die For was copyrighted, the official song name was listed as To Die For featuring Charlie XCX. Well, I guess we can put all the speculation to rest because it's been confirmed that Charlie is featuring on To Die For. I'm not sure yet if these 5 songs being copyrighted is proof that the EP will only have 5 tracks. On Addison's website, the homepage shows what looks like titles of her leaked songs and then a bubble in the center of the screen. And then when you click to pop the bubble gum, it reveals a timer set for August 18th at midnight, which is the release date for the EP. A couple days after the announcement, Addison jumped on Instagram to thank fans for their support and excitement for her upcoming music. And then over on Popheads, I saw some funny yet positive reactions to the upcoming EP, with some even claiming that Addison Rae was coming to save pop music. Over the years, it has seemed like Addison's so-called lost album has developed this sort of cult following. I didn't realize a lot of people were talking about it to the extent of there being so many Reddit threads and even articles about it from the time Obsessed came out, and then more so around the summer of 2021 onward. One of the primary articles I used for this video actually referred to Addison's lost album as the Gen Z Holy Grail of pop. And yes, maybe the title is a bit hyperbolic, but as someone who never followed Addison Rae on TikTok, the only time she ever crossed over onto my For You page was when people were talking about her music. I wish I'd screenshotted the comments so that I could give credit, but going through Twitter comments a couple days ago, I saw someone say, "Oh, it's really cool how Addison is handling her music getting leaked," or something like that. We've talked about it before several times on this channel, but oftentimes when songs get leaked, it can mean the record label deciding to shelve the album indefinitely, since part or all of it is already out there. And of course, artists themselves handle leaks very differently. Sometimes if the album's already together and confirmed for release, they just have to roll with it, and in other cases they scrap songs themselves if they know that they're leaked, or they just release the leaks themselves. I would be curious to know what the reasoning was behind the scenes to decide to put out Addison's EP, even though pretty much all of it's already been leaked. I'm assuming the demand was already there, and if the project is promoted well, like at least given a few music videos and good cute visuals, I could really see it performing decently. But you never really know, because someone like Addison Rae has a massive Gen Z fan base, but having millions of followers, we've seen time and again, that doesn't automatically make your project a hit. But if she keeps at it, I really don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to say that Addison Rae might become a junior pop girl one day. Like, maybe not selling out arenas, but definitely like a decent fan base of loyal supporters, and she puts out her cute little singles and videos and goes on about her life. And from like the information and the music we have right now, I could, with her music, see Addison Rae as a pop star being potentially on the level of someone like a Madison Beer. And of course that is just for music, because I guess you could argue that Addison's following has already gotten her on late night shows and in movies and at the Met Gala, so by no means is she a complete nobody or unknown. It's also an interesting coincidence that Addison's first project is coming at a time where people are very critical of musicians being sourced from TikTok. I think it's something that some people have already been kind of annoyed by, but I don't think the TikTok music fatigue was as bad in 2021 as it is now in 2023. This situation is a little bit different though, because Addison's whole TikTok brand wasn't necessarily being a musician or an aspiring artist, and it's something she tapped into later. It could have always been an interest of hers, but most of her time on TikTok was not spent promoting music. So I'm not sure if people will receive it the same way, but I'm sure there are enough parallels for that to be possible. So yeah, of course, be sure to let me know all of your thoughts and your feelings on the upcoming Addison Rae EP down below. And I know it hasn't come out yet, but all of the songs are leaked, so more or less they've been out there for 2 years. I'm sure there will be some tweaks and differences made in terms of the mastering, but the songs are already out there. Like I said, I do think it's going to be an EP rather than a full-length album, but I guess we will have to see tomorrow. Either way, I'm not going to be too mad at it, because as long as it's some cute and catchy pop music, it's going to get streams from me, let's be honest. And you know, personally, I'm someone who doesn't really care when someone that we know from social media, or we know them from one thing and then they pivot over to the other thing. And then especially so because half the time I'm not really keeping up with these people in their fledgling days anyway. Like, I was not out here watching Addison Rae TikTok, so I am none the wiser. And of course, we can have a conversation about why certain people, you know, are able to build the platforms in order to pivot and why some people are not. But you know what? That would be a conversation for a different video, but that is definitely a conversation. But I'm just saying, like, off rip, like, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh my god, this person from Twitter or YouTube is gonna make music or TikTok, so automatically it's gonna be ass and I'm gonna hate on it and assume because they have a platform on social media they can't be talented in any other arena. No, that's not what I'm saying. And even if I do feel that way about someone, I'm just not gonna watch the little movie if I think it's ass. I'm just not gonna stream the little songs if I think it's ass and go on about my day. And especially with something like music, like pop music is not a limited resource. So if the girls want to make pop music, they're going to make their pop music and I can stream it or not stream it. And it's that simple. But yeah, I'm trying to, like, as I'm sitting here, I'm trying to think of the last person who I knew from the internet or social media who actually made, you know, a successful music career out of their platform. The only person who's really coming to mind is Troye Sivan. Maybe Cardi B. I don't know if Cardi B counts, but I knew her from Vine before I knew her from like Love and Hip Hop and the music she made. So, I mean, I would count her. I don't know if y'all would, but I would. And you know what? Let me know some other, maybe does Saucy Santana count? But yeah, that could be a fun topic for a different video at a different time. Not like an influencer personality who just had 1 or 2 little songs. I'm talking about made a whole music career off of it, and now they are an established artist. That's what I'm talking about. So let me know if you're interested in that being a potential video. And then of course, let me know your thoughts, your feelings, like I said, on Addison Rae's upcoming EP, and you know, we'll chitty chat in the comments. As always, thank you so very much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can stick around for more. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter if you want to keep up with me there. And if you'd like to become a channel member, the link is in the description of the video. Again, thank you so very much for watching. I love you all so very much. And of course, we'll see you so very soon. Bye-bye.